Hello, Minnesota. Welcome back to Minnesota Grow Talks, your go-to podcast for all things cannabis and community, right here in the land of 10,000 lakes. I'm your host, Frost. As well, we got Rob and Jared, and we're so thrilled to kick off Season 3 with all of you. Whether you're a seasoned grower, a curious newcomer, or just passionate about the power of plants, you're in the right place. Over the past 2 seasons, we've explored the ins and outs of cannabis cultivation, shared stories from our vibrant local scene in Minnesota, and built a community rooted in knowledge, respect, and growth. This season, we're taking things even higher. We've lined up expert guests, cutting-edge cultivation techniques, and real conversations about the challenges and triumphs facing Minnesota's cannabis community. From home grow tips to policy updates, from personal journeys to community initiatives, if it matters to Minnesota growers, we're talking about it. So grab your favorite strain, settle in, and get ready to grow with us. Because here at Minnesota Grow Talks, it's not just about the plants, it's about the people. Let's make Season 3 our best yet. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Jared and Rob over at Here to Heal, as well now part of the Minnesota Grow Talks production team. Congratulations and thanks, gentlemen.
Hey, Justin. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It really means the world to have this opportunity to move forward with you. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. I'm Jared Swanson, and I'm thrilled to officially kick off Season 3 of Grow Talks with Justin Frostbud Farms. This season is extra special because Robert Ferrier and I are not just guests. We're now part of the awesome podcast production team. We're here to bring you inspiring stories, expert tips, and everything you need to know about the world of cannabis and gardening. But first, a little about us. We're the co-founders of Here to Heal Grow and Supply, and we're anxiously awaiting the SCA pre-approved Maisel lottery on June 5th, which is coming up very soon, which will be a complete game changer for our business. Tomorrow, though, we're celebrating a huge milestone of our ribbon cutting ceremony for Here to Heal Grow and Supply in the beautiful town of Forest Lake, Minnesota. This moment is a result of teamwork, clear communication, and a shared passion for empowering the cannabis home growing community. At Here to Heal, we're not just about selling supplies. We're about creating a movement. We want to inspire people to grow their own plants, connect with nature, and experience the incredible mental and physical benefits of gardening. And one thing Robert and I have learned along the way is that success isn't just about hard work. It's about balance, mental health, self-awareness, and maintaining a healthy work-life balance is what keeps us grounded as we grow. Through this podcast, we're excited to share our journey to connect all of you and continue building a community where growers of all levels feel supported and inspired. This Maisel business license, and along with our grow supply store, is just the beginning, and we can't wait to see where this journey takes us. I'm going to hand it over to Rob, my partner.
Thanks, Jared, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thanks for this exciting new season. I'm Robert Ferrier, and like Jared mentioned, we're now part of the Grow Talks production team. It's a privilege to not only share our journey, but to also help shape the conversations that are happening within this space. At Here to Heal, we've built our business on the idea that growth isn't just about plants, it's about people. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced grower, we want to be your go-to resource for supplies, tips, and inspiration. Tomorrow's ribbon cutting ceremony is a dream come true for us, but it's also just the start. We're here to grow with our community, and through this podcast, we're excited to share knowledge, celebrate success, and tackle challenges together. This season of Grow Talks is going to be packed with incredible content, and we're so excited to have you along for the ride. Let's get started. Justin, it's time to lift off.
Thank you, gentlemen. I would like to take a moment here to introduce tonight's special guest. This one is actually very near and dear to my heart. I've actually been using this platform for about the last 8 to 12 months myself in my own garden at home. So, um, with, with no further ado, I would like to introduce Scott over at PLNTRK. That is PLNTRK.com. If you want to hop on the site, if you're in front of a computer, you can kind of poke around a little bit now or later. But Scott, I'm going to open the floor to you, and you can kind of introduce PLNTRK to folks. And I have some questions formulated that I'll kind of ask as we go along. So,
Sure.
appreciate your time tonight. This is a platform that's based out of Minnesota. We are trying to highlight Minnesota brands on Minnesota Grow Talks this season. So, without further ado,
Thank you very much. Cool. Well, hello everybody. Super happy to be here. I am, like you said, from Minnesota. I'm actually born and raised in New Ulm, Minnesota, where Shell's Brewery is located. But I started growing cannabis in Minnesota once they legalized it, and I have a background of programming for probably almost 25 years now. I've been doing web development and what have you, and so it's kind of my knack. And I had recently come off a project where I was a cryptocurrency project where I was working with QR codes. And as I started growing cannabis, I realized after a few months that I had no clue what I was doing. I wasn't writing anything down. I just was very, very, very unorganized. So I thought, let's build a logging data system and then let's add QR codes to it. So like that's I'm the only cannabis logging app that has QR codes for you to scan and log your data. I also built in the ability to program NFC tags like Apple Pay or Google Wallet, where you can scan a tag to also just kind of magically log your data super basically effortlessly. Like my goal was to make logging data like not a thing you're going to do coming up, but something you just do instantly and you don't think about it again.
love it.
So yeah, I basically just started programming away. I've been, it's just something I do in the evenings or the mornings around my full-time job. And I'm just super happy to be able to help other people out with growing.
Absolutely, dude. So yeah, some of the core functionalities, and like he's explaining, folks, you basically set up a profile for the plant in the beginning, and then you scan and you go. Whether you need to water, give nutrients, you're topping, you're running clones, you're harvesting. I mean, the list, there's like 15, 16 items in this list of items that you can select from. It is up to 1,000 plants, 50 rooms, so it's basically unlimited. We always recommend, obviously, abiding by your state laws, so be sure you do that, folks. But yeah, there's an actual harvest countdown, and I will actually share my screen once we get into it a little bit more. But super awesome platform. Definitely recommend people check that out.
Yeah, I just wanted to add though, it's just been a joy building this. When it came to growing, because I'm an engineer, I didn't Google any growing journal apps or whatever. I literally just went and started writing my own code. So my idea was, I heard this once upon a time that Netflix was built from people in an office trying to just share videos with themselves. So my motto is just kind of build what I need, and hopefully everyone else will appreciate it and it can take off and help everyone out.
Nice. So a couple of the other core functionalities, like I said, it has harvest countdown. And I'm actually just going to jump over, and I don't need to be on the screen, so I'm just going to share my screen. Why not? So here we go. I'll get out of that. Nobody needs to see that. So this is the Critical 47 that I just harvested. So this is basically the plant's profile. Every plant has a plant ID. The genetics was Uncle Rick's genetics. It was Critical 47 Auto. It was planted on the 29th of January of 2025, of course. Began veg stage roughly on the 15th, flowering on the 10th of March, and then it flowered for, I believe it was 8 or 9 weeks before it was chopped, began drying on the 5th of May here, and it will begin curing on the 17th of May. It is currently in my dry tent. By dry tent, shout out to dry tents. If you haven't yet, get on over and get yourself a dry tent, because those are, man, I don't know what I did differently this harvest versus other harvests, if it's the dry tent or if it's PLNTRK, but that's the only two things that I've changed in my game. So,
Well, it's definitely PLNTRK, right?
I honestly, I think it very well may be. I don't know how, but it's, yeah, I love PLNTRK, and I will probably use PLNTRK as long as I grow.
The progress bars are my favorite. It's just so nice to be able to come in and look at those progress bars.
Yep.
Prior to PLNTRK, almost every day, multiple times a week, I'm pulling my phone out, pulling the photo gallery open, and I'm like flipping through photos, trying to figure out when I did my feedings or when I watered.
I used to do the same exact thing because I wouldn't make notes, right? So then I'd have to look back, and I'm like, okay, I did that on Wednesday, and it's now the next Thursday, so I think I need to do this or
Like
whatever.
my life was a mess, and I wouldn't remember. It might be 10 o'clock, and I don't remember what I did at 8 o'clock that day. So I was struck.
Yeah, that might be the medicine talking there, sir. So
Yeah,
another nice, right. Another nice thing about this is there's so many features, folks. I really cannot stress enough. You just really got to hop on and check
Yeah, I'd
it
like
out
to
yourself.
talk on that maintenance journey right there that you have up. What this came from is I attended a Canna Connect class on how to grow big buds, and I took notes. And from the notes, I came through and I built this chart out. And what this will do is, depending on where you are in the stage of your growth, when you come in here, this automatically will drop down to your next step.
Yep.
So for those who don't know when or what or how to, they can just literally just follow this and get a pretty good clue on what to do next.
So this is another cool feature, and maybe we'll just jump back and forth from what I plan to talk about and this. But this is very cool, folks. Why isn't it showing me how I want to see it right now? So there's different views also. So you can do gallery mode, or you can do the table view, right? So then it shows, where the heck is the plants spot? I swore it showed up on this. Oh, so here it is. It's on this one. So you can see Minnesota Grow Talks Lab, row 1, spot 4. So as you place your plants in the tent, each spot can have each plant can technically have a spot. It just makes it a little bit easier for keeping track of what you got going on. And
yeah, if you actually come to this view from the locations or from the grow rooms,
okay,
and you select to view the plants in it,
yep,
it actually will show the spots.
Oh yes, there we go.
Yep.
So as you can see, there's only three plants. There's actually 2 plants in my tent. I haven't removed the critical.
I know, and in this view, it's also drag and drop. So if you want to rearrange them there, you can do that.
Oh, yep.
So.
Or you can move them to a different spot, and so on and so forth. So.
And then sometimes you're not sure what the numbers are. So as you click on it, it will select it and go down to the plant. Because sometimes you're like, what's 597? I don't know. So.
Nice, dude. Somebody scanned the QR code. I like it. Everybody needs to scan that. There's 18 folks in here, dude. There was actually like 17 people off the bat, dude. So I appreciate all of the followers, the supporters, the sponsors, PLNTRK for taking time out of their day tonight. Here to Heal for everything they do. My brother Jared and Rob.
Hi, guys.
There's definitely a lot of familiar faces in the chat here. I appreciate all of you tuning in, and I will get out of the screen sharing here shortly so I can get back to the chat comments. This is what I got coming up in the tent, though, which is exciting for myself. I ordered some more seeds from Blimberm Co. Blimberm Seed Co. because I was very impressed with the Blue Dream that just came to harvest recently. Um, so I actually planted more of that immediately.
Yeah, one of the reasons I expanded on the number of plants, because when it comes to 8 plants, that's 4 veg, 4 flower. But then let's say you make clones, you might make a dozen clones, and you only want to keep 4 out of those. So the 4 best, or maybe you pop a few seeds, and those take a while. So at any time, depending on where your plants are, you might have technically way more than 8.
Right.
Different stages and what have you. And I just wanted
Absolutely.
to make it easy for people to have as many growing environments as they want, like clone domes, the drying tent, the flower tent, whatever, veg tent.
Absolutely. So I try to have 2 grow tents and then a dry tent. That way I don't have to ever stop growing, and we can always be growing. It seems to work well. The dry tent initially, I was under the impression that I would just hook it up to like my dry tent. That's what I was explained, right? And I was like, well, if I air condition the room, right, and get that room down to 65 degrees or 60 degrees, well, nothing grows at 60 degrees. Like, it'll just hang out and be like next to dormant, right, or like not really do much. So that doesn't really work. So I end up using a different room.
I
Just
have
cool that room.
personally, one of my rooms is my canitrol that I add. So when I harvest a plant, I relocate everything to the canitrol. So I've never actually had a drying room.
Nice. So yeah, just quickly wrapping up on the core functionality of PLNTRK here. As we discussed, there's plenty of room for plants within your profile. It has progress tracking, as I mentioned. Through each stage, you can program if you want to. Say you want to be in veg for 60 days instead of 32 days. You can program that right into the system, and then it'll keep track of your progress as you progress, which is super neat. Shout out to Garden of the North. Shout out to John Rando, Laverne Rubbish, Green Giant Growers. Oh my God, I am dyslexic tonight. Shout out to everybody out there, Troy Stevens, everybody out in the community hopping on tonight. It is absolutely appreciated. I cannot say it enough. Back to where I was going though. The progress tracking is super awesome, folks. It does have a harvest countdown, batch tracking, plant maintenance scheduling. It does also, as Scott led on to it, highlights the next step for each plant, So if you have plants at different stages of life, you're not like, your brain's not all scrambling and you just simply hop on that profile and this is what I got to do next with this plant. Also a super cool feature, text message reminders for key actions such as watering, nutrients, growth, photos, so on.
Yeah.
And then another super, super cool feature, which he can touch on more as well, but is the nutrient closet or the nutrient cabinet. I forget which it is, Scott, but...
Yes. Cabinet, I believe, is what I call it.
Okay.
But,
So yeah, that I'll let you go into that quick here, and I'll let you kind of explain what your plan is going into the future, maybe a little bit if you want to.
yeah, so the nutrient closet is something I used more so when I was doing DWC versus recently I've been doing living soil, so it's kind of boring, I just kind of add water. But as far as nutrient closet is basically whatever you have in your physical closet at home. I had Fox Farms, for example. I go into there, I can toggle on all the ones that I have purchased sitting in my room, and then as I go to log my plant watering, I can select which of the store nutrients I added with that watering and then the volume that goes with it. Really simple concept. Also in your closet, you can define what the standard dosage per gallon would be. So then as you go and water your plants, it'll automatically do the math for you if you didn't add a full gallon, or if you added a half gallon, it'll kind of figure out what the correct dosages is for whatever nutrient that you're adding. So that's kind of a neat thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's also a custom nutrient section. So if you don't have store-bought stuff and you make your own organic stuff, maybe you can kind of put your own recipe all together in there and have that available to you as you water your plants.
So, is that something where I would go and add my Coast of Maine products, or is that
Exactly. Yep. Well, that's
okay?
one thing you do right now, but until I fill out that area and have just more products in there, you could
Right.
go do a custom mix right now and
Okay.
just name it that.
Sweet. So yeah, I don't. One nice thing about this is as he mentioned, folks, is the QR codes, and we might get into that a little bit later in the episode again. But the QR codes, it's nice for folks that are working on getting any type of licensing that would put their product into a dispensary. These QR codes, and I know Metric has their own system as well, but these QR codes basically link back right to the plant's life. Any amendments that it was given, any nutrients. So somebody that's looking for like 100% organic product, they can go right back and check out what has gone into that plant. So
I wanted to point out that I had my QR codes out about 6 months before Metric. So
nice. And we talked about this offline with a couple folks. Like, I mean, this platform that you have built out is pretty badass in my opinion, and it would not surprise me if it surpassed Metric one day and was potentially the system that was put into place. So
yeah, right now my eyes are on Grow with Jane, I think. So maybe I can take them over, steal some of their market share.
That's who I used and then switched over to the plant tracks.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I gotta
uh,
say, when I did see Grow, my jaw dropped on how unpleasant it looked. It felt just very old looking.
Monstrous Radio, I apologize. I tested the QR code earlier and then Restream glitched out on me, and I literally had to reprogram all of my captions, all of my QR codes, and there must have been an error with that. So you can go to www.plntrk.com. Again, www.plntrk.com, and you can check out Plant Track for yourself. I'm not sure where the issue is because the URL literally says http://www.plntrk.com.
Did you
So,
miss an S? Do I have I maybe have something messed up with my routing where it's not taking.
oh, you think there needs to be an S after that P maybe?
That could be.
Well, we'll try that. Nonetheless, let me wrap up on this and then we will move on to the next.
Oh, I also wanted to note that when you do log data with PlantTrack, one of the most convenient features along with it is that you can choose to apply this log data to any and all plants that are in your grow.
So I was actually going to show people. So I simply go up here. You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your phone. So this is all of the different types of data you can log, folks. And I'm not going to read this list because it goes on and on and on and on. I'll read a few of them, though. Water, transplanting, topping, pest and disease issues, temp and humidity variables that you want to enter. If you're doing some sort of training, if you just want to enter a note, you want to log height, create clones, ask a question. That's one super, super cool part. It has some GPT AI built into it. So you can, it's not in this actual section. This is just for asking a question. But
so what's going to happen here is it's going to submit all of your logged plant data, all of the genetics or any information you've had, it dates, everything goes with your question. So there's context, and it's not a stupid answer.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, because I could not explain it as well as you could have.
Touching
also,
back
you have the
on,
ability. Go ahead.
touching back on when you log a plant at the beginning, that being able to personalize each plant is absolutely amazing, because if you're specifically trying to veg the plant for longer, I really like that you can customize and add at the very beginning how many days, so then it'll automatically tell you when to.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because I like to veg my plants longer than some people do, per se, right? So I just program all that data in right away. Then it tells me after my set amount of days have expired that I need to flip the flower, right?
Well, exactly. So if you have like a mother, you can just set it for like 999 days, and then it'll just stay on veg for the whole time.
Right.
Yep.
So quickly, one more thing I wanted to Frosty. Oh, what did you touch on that, Scott? The AI. So yeah, quickly I think he did, but just to wrap that up. So the AI, it'll basically use a picture that you took. If you have an issue with, say, a deficiency or something along those lines, it'll take all of your data, and then it'll take that most recent picture that you took, and it will help you to basically solve the problem that you have going on with your plant. It's
Yeah.
obviously not nailed down perfect, right? Because some deficiencies can present very similar to others.
So I actually have an integration with growdoc.ai. They're a Canadian-based company, and the heart of their business is just focusing on nutrient deficiencies through trained models, machine learning models. So I made a deal with them for the next year to be working with them and including their image analysis deficiencies within PLNTRK. So any image you have, you can go and analyze that image through their system. And coming up soon, I'm going to build in the ability to also submit these same images to GPT, since they have that feature available now as well.
Nice. All right, what else do you want to explore? Let me get back to. Sorry, folks, I kind of build an outline for myself. Then it makes my life a little bit easier. So yeah, when you get all stoned and you're trying to actually be organized, it just makes it easier.
I mean, really, it's all about the organization. So you can every time you plant a plant, it gets added to your strain library. And whether things are archived or not, whatever, if you ever had a plant, you can go and navigate it and see it there.
Yes.
Nice
now that you mentioned that, go ahead.
When you
add
a new plant, it has a drop-down menu with all your old plants too. That's really nice.
Yep. And then you can archive plants, and then you can go back and look at all your archive plants later. And I'll hop on that again in a second. I wanted to make sure I was keeping up on the comments, and then you touched on it, and I almost forgot, dude. That's how quick shit just.
Right.
Clones, right? So you hit create clones from that menu, right? And then it creates clones, and everything is linked right back to that mother plant. It basically auto-populates a majority of that data for you and basically says it's a clone off of X mother plant. So super, super cool application. One very, very exciting thing for myself and any iPhone user is it's currently pending iOS Apple Store approval.
Yes.
So
it's in review. I got denied temporarily because they say I have references like Google Play on it. So I'm like, what are you talking about? So I need to just make a couple adjustments, and then it should be available within the week.
Nice. I am going to hop back on the PLNTRK website because I like to hang out on here so much. So yeah, like he said, you simply hit create clones, and then bada bing, it asks you like the number of clones you're going to cut, and it will literally program all the data for you. But what I wanted to do was go into my harvest. Shout out to Nancy Wallace. I see you on here. We appreciate you, lady. Check out that orange rum dosey dub, folks. This was a plant of Nancy's that I grew out last summer. The yield on it was pretty decent. It wasn't nothing like Robbie Shores or anything, but it was decent for my liking.
You can track your harvest, and then the wet yield, the dry yield, and you can give it a rating too, so you can kind of monitor yourself as you go along and see if things improve. As one thing I'll be adding too is plant over plant comparisons. So you can kind of look at on a single graph multiple plants combined to see which ones are doing better or not.
Right. And then also on top of everything super cool. Oh, that's not going to work because I'd have to share. Well, maybe I can open it. Oh, yeah. Nice. Oh, maybe it's not sharing this actual tab. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, for those that don't like hanging out online forever, if you want to just keep your data and download it, you can download a PDF. It's basically a repeat of the profile page. It has all the photos, all the interactions, all the logins, and all the basic information, plus a QR code.
Yes. So I'm going to go share that right now. Sorry, I had to switch the tabs that I'm sharing so I don't share everything. So this is a PDF that he was just speaking of. It's nothing too over the top, but it does show, like, basically, like he said, all of the photos, any input that you've put into it. This was one of the beginning grows that I was utilizing PLNTRK for, so I wasn't entering as much data back then as I am today. But yeah, very, very cool system.
Yeah, if anyone ever has ideas that they want to see added to the app, I have a feedback section on the very bottom of the homepage. Happy to add what I can.
Nice. Yeah, it's I can't wait for people to get out and start using it and for you to get more feedback. I want to say the plant count was, last time we talked about it, was right around 800 for the platform. So there is a handful of users using it. I've used it a bunch. Some other people have used it.
Yeah, I've had almost a couple hundred users sign up since I released it in January.
Nice.
I'm happy about that. It's just kind of organically gaining traction. I found it's difficult to advertise cannabis-related products. So
Absolutely, man. There's a lot of names in here that I Green Giant Growers. I said it right this time, brother. I apologize for butchering it and murdering it last time. I know that he is utilizing the application or the platform as well now. What up, Ryan? How you doing, brother? Hope all is well with you. Nancy's in the house. Happy to see you, Nancy. Exciting to see everyone. Shout out to Frostbud for bringing us back to an awesome show. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm going to get back to what I was showing here. So I did recently finish out the Cheetah Piss. This was another, let me see. So as Scott was talking about earlier, there was 13 ounces when it was wet. When it ended up drying, it was around 4 ounces. So you typically lose, I think they say 2/3 during dry. The quality, I rated it, it was a 6. Sadly, I was working on a re-veg project and then I abandoned the whole thing. So I have more of the seeds, so it's not a big deal. Seed bank, I'm not sure what you're referring to, Green Giant Growers, but yeah.
seed
Jared.
bank he's talking about is just the strains section. Previously, it would only show stuff that you planted, but I made a change just recently where you can add strains without actually planting them. So that green button right there. So what you do is you add some basic information here. After you save it, you get more turpentine type information that shows up that you can auto-populate with AI.
Correct.
So here, go into one of your previous strains you have.
Yep.
And then click, like maybe.
Yep, right down here.
Yeah.
So this is actually where I was trying to get to.
Sure. Click edit on one of these.
Edit.
And yeah, all the turpentine profile, the morphology, the cannabinoids, all of this stuff.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Do you guys see this shit, man? Oh my God, it's awesome.
Yeah, you click that populate strain data, and it'll do all that for you.
Let me just finish this in. Yeah, I do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it just made up new stuff, and if you save it, it'll save it. Otherwise, if you back out, it won't save it.
Right.
Yeah, that's got to save a ton of time for people, I think.
Oh, absolutely. What else was super cool about it? And I don't want to get too far away from my outline. So I got a couple questions in regards to the core functionality, and then we're going to move on to basically some data management and some visualizations. So how does this scale for, say, commercial when we get to commercial in Minnesota versus a hobby grower or a local Minnesota home grower?
So definitely, as you get more plants, you need less visual UI. So that's kind of why I went with the table view when being in your plants. And I really made it so everything can be done in bulk on that page. So you can select everything, flip all your plants to flower at one time. You can harvest all your plants at one time.
I really like that.
Delete them, you can archive them. Everything can be done in bulk. So if they're doing one thing or 500 plants, if you have like a large grow scale operation, the system will perform just the same, I guess. And if you go over to your plants search page, there's actually a filter button that you can narrow everything down by the rooms it's in and the stages they're in as well. There's a funnel button right at the top of your, like where the gallery view is. So if you have like a lot of stuff in a lot of different locations, it's easy to just filter it down.
Sorry, I stopped sharing because I wanted to get back. I want to make sure I'm trying to stay on top of these comments. Christine Hale, the app is called PLNTRK. So if you look in the Google Play Store, it should be available on Android currently. It's awaiting approval for the App Store for Apple products. Otherwise, there is a website. You can basically create a shortcut right to your home screen. That's what I've done on top of just scanning the QR codes, right? So I just open my camera, I scan a QR code, and then once I'm in that plant profile, there's actually a QR code scanner right up in the right-hand corner that you can go through and you can scan all of your other plants' QR codes and enter all of the data. If you're watering the entire tent at one time, you simply select water, which I will, let me jump back over here quick.
Shout out to Jason Cruz for getting that other option to scan more QR codes in here. That was my first feedback from a real user.
Nice. That was Jason Cruz. Shout out to him, dude. I haven't talked to you in a while, brother, but yeah, awesome that you're on PLNTRK as well. So what I was going to do, oh yes, so plants, I was going to water the plants in the Minnesota Grow Talk studio tent. So I go like this, I hit log data. I enter the water volume, it automatically populates the date. If I want to enter pH levels and EC levels, I can do so. But then if I watered everything, right, I just bada bing, bada boom, select all, save. I just watered all of my plants, whether that was 100 plants in 2 years under an automated system, or that was 5 plants in your home grow tent at home.
Yep.
So,
and if you had nutrients in your closet, they would show up on that add nutrients button.
correct. Right there, there would be nutrients right in here, but I don't have any currently because Scott doesn't have my coast of Maine in the system.
Well, I'm going to get that added pronto.
I appreciate that, sir. Just kidding. But yeah, that's the reason why I don't enter any of the nutrient data. I do use nutrients, folks. Everything that I grow is grown organically in coast of Maine soil and coast of Maine products I utilize. So shout out to coast of Maine. And shout out to Jared from Here to Heal. What up, brother?
Well, obviously. Thanks, Scott. You're doing a really good job. I'm just trying to keep up learning. Robert's doing a really good job updating me. This is my main man. This is the cultivator, the master guy. I wouldn't be able to do anything as far as, keeping plants alive because, as far as I'm concerned, I work operations on our side, so I'm like a squirrel everywhere and everything. But, if it wasn't this guy, we wouldn't have anything to smoke. I'll tell you that much right now.
Amen to that. Nancy, the link, I put the link in the comments. It's just simply PLNTRK.com, but it is up in the comments a ways up. And I appreciate you being here, honey.
Link for the Android app right on the home page. If someone... I don't know if they find it in the store, actually, without typing it by name exactly. I don't know why, but...
I can maybe hop on the Google Play Store. And then I can get a link over here. Give me 2 seconds, folks.
I just got the Android.
I'm new!
1 week ago, so super stoked about that.
All right, what is it? Dude, I check it every day, man. I'm not going to lie. I open the App Store right away when I wake up. And I'm like, no PLNTRK today.
I had to switch over.
So if I share and then I copy that link and then I go bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, I log into PLNTRK every day and look at my progress bars like they're going to speed up.
There you go, folks. It is right there in the comments. What up, shoot? Christine Hale, you found it. Awesome. Michael Hastings Jr., what up, buddy? How you doing, brother? He's been using Eagle 80's been using Chat GPT. That app looks very much nicer. Hell yeah, dude. The biggest indoor auto I know of in Minnesota was Robbie Shores, 585 grams, folks.
Woo!
It sounds like the QR code is working in the top right of the screen now. So PLNTRK.com, folks. I want to see them numbers climb to over 1,000 plants by the weekend here. So let's get growing.
So one thing I did recently to help people kind of understand the features of the app is when you sign up right now, I add a fake or a temporary grow room, and I add a test plant that has like a kind of a history of, it's one of my old plants actually. So I repopulate that and reset all the dates. So when people come in there, they can actually see, click on like the QR codes and see the plant badge builder. They can click on the NFC tags and actually see stuff that they can program.
And that's new, you're saying?
Yeah, that's something I just released about a week ago. Because before that, you would jump in, it says create a grow room and then add plants. So you don't really get to see all the functionality with it empty. So I went ahead and just did that to help people out. And then they can just delete those rooms or delete that plant.
Rob, we're going to go ahead and get that PLNTRK off of your head there, bud. Sorry. I moved it to the other side now. All right, back to the show, folks. Sorry, we're getting a little sidetracked. So, yeah, it's definitely scalable from home grow to commercial. And then what are the most common maintenance no tasks you would automate? No maintenance tasks you would
automate.
Maintenance
tasks, like as far as notifications, I believe is what you're asking.
Yeah.
I mean, I love having a photo reminder once a week, just because the best part of this app is just being able to go and look at your babies. You know, you spend maybe 5 months on this stuff, so it's just fun to watch it progress. Watering, it seems basic, but you know, if you're going DWC versus a self-watering wick system, if it's been a week, I might forget to come and refill those suckers. So I can kind of see patterns, develop. Nutrients is definitely something that I would need for DWC. Just like I forget everything. So I mean, they all have their own places for different growing techniques.
Absolutely.
One reminder that I stopped using, honestly, with growth was growth reminder, because I started topping my plants and I started training, and then at that point growth wasn't really relevant, because I'm making them not go tall. So
right.
But they all have their place, I feel.
Hey Scott, absolutely. So I was thinking about something there, just about notifications or anything. A lot of people, in my growing career, I've always struggled with routine because I live pretty far away from my home. And, something that I know some tent systems have the abilities to integrate, like, the camera system into it. Would you be able to essentially code a camera operating system to be able to keep an eye on things?
That is something I really want to do. I want to automate more stuff, like environment conditions. Those are things that a lot of tents can give you. I would like to have those pipe back into PLNTRK automatically, and then camera systems as well. I know one thing that GrowDoc does is they have a system where they do nutrient analysis live every day and feed it back to you. So if I could get to a point like that, that would stay ahead of the user having to identify them and have the system tell you when something goes wrong.
Yeah, I know. Just any real-time data would be super influential to any grower. I mean, that's definitely something that's always hindered me, because schedule is a super important piece to any cultivator, and that's just something I know. So I've been able to bless with the opportunity to kind of delegate it, but I just know incorporating this system might be an opportunity for me to kind of maybe really get back into the hobby and the enjoyment of growing, because not having to worry about, rushing back home to make sure, I hit the watering right away, or, making sure that type of thing.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I know that was one of the first feedback I got from someone in Minnesota here that I reached out to was automate as much as possible. So that's going to be my longer term goal, definitely.
Cool.
Now that I have a base system kind of in place, the apps are out of the way. Now I can actually focus on a little more on just improving functionality.
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice, like cause for the coding, if you would be able to know how to do it so that you can just integrate. So like he was saying, people have the VivoSun system already Bluetooth to their stuff, and or the AC Infinity or whatever. But it'd be kind of nice if you had the capability of integrating that through your system. So in that way, that would all show up through PLNTRK, so you don't have to go back and forth between the apps.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think I need to get myself an AC Infinity tent to start.
Oh, they're amazing.
You know?
We do offer drop shipping on those. I hear you too. So.
So, looking at the clock, it's been 46 minutes. Damn, does time fly when you're having fun? I tell you what, guys.
Right?
We've only covered one section of this set outline here, so we got to move on. Data management and visualization. So, some of the key components. Do you want to explain those, Scott, or do you want me to run through them and then you can elaborate on them?
Run through them and I'll elaborate. Yeah.
Sweet. So deficiency and trichome charts, which is super awesome. I didn't get into that. I will hop over there in a second. Photo libraries per plant and per grow room. Downloadable plant history / photos and PDFs, and then batch tracking. You can elaborate on those, and I will stream on over here to the plant chart page.
So the first two you mentioned are probably the most useful. If you go right to the two green buttons on your right there, we got a deficiencies chart. This is just old school. No AI. Just, look
I
at
have
your
the same poster on the back of my office door over there, if you look, actually.
This is a random thing I found.
We have that hanging up in the store, too.
Nice.
So it's super cool. It's right at your fingertips, folks. And then there are
everyone wants to know when their plants are ready to be chopped, right?
Trichome chart, right?
Yeah. So go back to your plants one. That's the same thing, but it just hides the trichome chart.
Yep. There it is.
Yeah, same thing, I guess.
Yep.
Here, basically, how do you like your weed, right?
Right.
You just pretty self-explanatory here, I think.
And absolutely, we've all gone through this. Who harvests at what time? Some people like to wait for a lot of amber for a couch lock. Some people like to harvest basically once stuff is at about 70% cloudy. It just varies grower to grower, of course. So
yeah, I found also that, of course, based on different parts of the plant, things are in different spots too. So I feel like I get a variety when I chop my plants.
Oh, absolutely. So I chop all of my tops once they're ready, right? And then I let the lowers mature further because I found good success with that myself. So
I've always wondered that. I thought about that once.
Some people say it causes a lot of stress and it can have a negative impact, but I personally have not seen that yet. I do apologize. I got to catch up on some comments here.
A lot of the stress depends on the genetics, too.
Absolutely. Going DWC for the first time, dang fungus gnats. The app will be helpful. So if you can build an organic layer on top of your soil, brother, you can get rid of the fungus gnats. I haven't dealt with fungus gnats in a long while. I have some sort of... They're definitely beneficial mites. I have narrowed that part of it down. There are a lot of different mites in the world, so they're a soft-bodied beneficial mite of some sort, but I haven't narrowed down the exact name of them. But again, if you can get even putting straw on top of the dirt will allow for the fungus gnats not to be able to do what they need to do to basically breed and survive. So or sand. There's several different products you can use.
Build a Soil offers a clover cover that's kind of come out over the last year that really helps out with just protection of your medium, and especially for outdoor growers, and a natural way to do it too. It incorporates a few other different types of herbs, clover, a few other things like arugula, those barley. Yep.
So there is
diatomaceous earth available too that helps sprinkle just a little bit of that and mix it in.
I'm trying to see where I'm headed here. So, how does visual data help you to make better decisions, Scott? As a grower, a cultivator, a commercial scale grower, explain.
I mean, I think the best thing for me is to be able to just see patterns when I look at a graph and say, hey, I know I'm going to be watering in a couple of days without just because that's what I've been doing. Or it's just all about being organized, I think. Being organized helps you make good decisions on what you need to do to your plants, I think. So
absolutely. And to go with that, like visualizations, simply looking at pictures. If you were running, say you were running the same strain, but you had 15 different phenos you were hunting, right? And as they grew up, you could simply look at the plants as they mature through flower. The yield in this one is twice the yield of this one. Obviously, that one is axed immediately, and so on and so forth to narrow it down until you find that awesome pheno that you're hunting for. So
yeah, and then I'll be doing, like I said, plant over plant overlays soon, so you can kind of see if your growing has increased yield over time. So
absolutely,
kind of back up what you're doing.
Oh, let me see. What's the value of having detailed plant history?
Well, one thing I like about it is, my vision kind of came, I pictured myself sitting on the couch, smoking a bowl, looking at my package and scanning the QR code and thinking, and then I thought, how cool would it be just to see where this plant came from? Just see the pictures of it growing up. Was it organic? Was it, what was it growing in? What was used on it? Did it have pest issues or whatever?
Absolutely.
So just having all this data in one spot is just fantastic, I think.
I couldn't agree more. I am over the moon about this platform. I can't tell you enough about it, and I don't want to, without, praising your platform. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, it's pretty awesome, folks. I hope that, like I said, we see the numbers start to climb overnight. I hope Scott sends me a message in the morning like, we're at plant 1,200. That would be dope. Oh no, what happened? Jared?
I'm right here, my man.
What happened to Scott?
Scott.
There he is.
Yep.
Don't do that to me, Restream.
He's here.
No, running around all back again. Scott, get back to work. Come on now. I'm just kidding. I don't know what happened, but sometimes Restream does that, unfortunately. I have no control. Alrighty, so moving forward here, let me see. Have you used the PDF export for compliance or sharing?
I have not. I literally heard a comment from someone some days saying they wish they could get their plant data off of a system. And I went ahead and the next day I built in a PDF download thinking, why not? So
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is so new right now that I'm really waiting for all the feedback from everyone to help me make it even better.
And I think you led to this one already, but just to reiterate, which chart do you reference most often?
Oh, trichomes was mine.
Okay. Nice.
I'm not good enough to fix a deficiency right now. I'm just too new of a grower. I'd probably kill it more, but so I just go off the trichomes and just, I've had really good luck with my recent grows doing living soil and great success actually. So I've really only been forced over to the trichomes chart.
Sweet. So I am gonna, unfortunately, folks, I am gonna actually the audio is going to speed up to 1.5 times the speed, so I'm going to start talking really fast, and we got to get moving along here. So, moving forward, there's actually still like 5 topics that we need to cover. So, smart tagging and packaging. We're just going to kind of buzz through this, and you guys can play around with it, provide feedback on the site if you would. It would certainly be appreciated by Scott and his team. So, smart tagging and packaging is QR code printing. If you do not own a printer, there is going to be the option to, I think, print or have things printed for you in the future, but they're not quite there yet. So as you can see on my, you can't see on my jar right now because I'm sharing my screen. So let me, no, I'm not. You cannot see it because it's too bright. But there's a QR code nonetheless on the top of my jar. That basically ties into that QR code printing for logging data and retail packaging in the future. Metric has their own system, as we discussed, but we don't know where the state of Minnesota is going currently. So there's also an NFC tag programming available for Android phones. So you would literally just like swipe your phone by the plant, and then you can start logging all of your data. The ability to log data from your phone versus writing down notes in a journal. I mean that it just kills it in my opinion. So anything you would like to? What's that?
The QR code you might want to move a little bit because they can't see it with the live and the time thing there.
Yeah. Back over. There we go. Perfect.
So one of the first people I wanted to print out QR codes for, or have them print out QR codes, they said they didn't have any printer ink. I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, all right, well, let's plan B here. So I thought, let's program NFC tags, because that's something you can do right from a website on your phone if you have an Android. iOS locks their stuff down too much, so I can't do it on Android right now, but soon.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm like, well, I too was on a printer, I think at the same time. So I started using NFC tags, and I loved it. But then I found out later, I love the QR codes even more.
Absolutely. I'm such a huge fan of them. I think QR codes are very, very, very easy way to market and influence people to or drive them to where you want them to go, right? Like they actually make they make a bunch of shirts nowadays with QR codes on the back, right? And then you scan them and they send you to a bunch of different links. Some of them are like basically a web page that pops open that is the guy flicking you off, and it's just, some of the shirts are basically to tell the Karens and the nosy folks of the world to like mind their own business, I guess.
Well, the thing with a QR code is no matter what, you see it and you want to know what's on it. So 9 times out of 10, usually they're going to scan it.
There you go.
Absolutely, and I feel the same exact way, and this conversation has been had several times. God damn, I almost need
like QR codes over NFC tags as sometimes when your plants get big enough, it's hard to get in there close enough to the NFC tag with your phone, or it might get muddy sometimes. Who knows, But with the QR code, you can do it from 5 feet away, no problem.
Absolutely, good comment here. Shout out to Christopher Schlenz or Soda Bean Co. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday, brother. I don't know that he is in the audience right now, but if he is, that would be dope. And happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday.
So I'm going to quickly fast forward here. We touched on that. What are the privacy/security considerations, if any? I know that people are very skeptical in the world. It's been legal now in Minnesota for 18 months roughly, and there's still people that are still in the closet growing because they're not comfortable coming to terms with that. So is there any, say, privacy or security concerns that you would be aware of?
It is all encrypted. It's on top-notch databases and everything, and hosted on Amazon. Everything's anonymous. The most accurate I can get is if you provide me with your zip code. Yeah. So it's a very anonymous system, And then on top of that, I guess that's people will get past the taboo feeling a little bit. I think. Like I came from Cali. I was there for 12 years. I was in Colorado for 8 years, and then I finally Minnesota legalized it. So I've been in the pot world for 20 years or so now.
Right.
And to
When
me,
you download it too, it creates you a random like weed type name too. Like
It does.
Mine came up as tangerine.
We were talking about this, so explain that quick, Scott.
Yeah, so basically I have about 3,000 strains loaded up, and you get a random strain username as you sign up. So like I put some pieces together and also append a random number on it. It can be changed at any time. It's just set as your first name, but it's kind of fun.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I was trying to be like all by the book when I signed up, so I actually put my real name in like a fucking dummy.
Yeah, iOS app coming soon for sure.
I'll be checking in the morning. Just kidding. It's probably not going to be here this week, but hopefully next week.
Next week.
Man, sorry guys, I'm just trying to catch up on these comments and then I will continue. So we did that. Have you said you personally, what do you run, an iPhone or an Android, Scott?
I'm Android.
Okay, so have you personally used the NFC tags?
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet.
Yep.
I'm sure you love it.
It's so crazy. It's so cool. Like you got your phone and you just put it up to the back of the phone and it takes about 3 seconds and it's programmed.
So are those tags that you sell, or is that something that...
No.
Hi, Poochie.
Where we at? These are something I bought off of Amazon. You can get a pack of 60 for like $10.
Nice.
And then I'll just put them on my little sticks here.
Okay.
And then as I don't even know if it'll work, but boom, just did it right there.
Nice.
So, and the NFC tags are reprogrammable too.
Okay,
so
that's
once
awesome.
You can override them as you do your new grow.
Right. So one thing that I do like is, I used to use the sticks that you were just showing, and I got sick of it because like the permanent marker would wear off after I water so many times, or this or that or the other, right? So I got to the point where I actually started going, and I was going to try to find a plant that had one of them on there, but I'm not having luck. Let me see. So I make up my labels, and then I print them, and I chop them all up, and I laminate them.
It's a good job.
And then I staple them to the pots, right? And then it's easy for me to scan the QR codes.
Made me so happy to see those. Really.
Right. If you take a look at my Facebook page, I know there's a lot of pictures of them on there. I was trying to find a picture, but I don't know without scrolling through everything, where to find one right now.
One note is, if you have your QR code bypassing your security, just be careful about posting them online.
Yeah, that is a good point. So if you don't have the login, and that's a very, very valid point, folks, pay attention to this. So when you set this all up, if you're using QR codes and you're printing your labels, it took me a minute to figure it out, but I got faith that everyone here can. If you can't, send me a message, send Gerald a message, send Scott a message, send the team over at Here to Heal a message. They'll help you figure it out as well. But make sure that you select for the log data profile. You have the option to have the log data profile and then the public profile QR code. When you select the log data profile, make sure that you select log in. Otherwise, people will be able to scan that log data code and basically have a heyday with your plants and basically say they're doing a bunch of stuff that's really not getting done. So it took me a second to figure that out because there's not like a little pop-up window that says, hey, this is what this does. But after thinking about it for just a second or two, it all came together. So nonetheless, very, very cool application. Shout out to Adam Gale. I hope you're still here. If not, much love, brother. Enjoy your evening. Moving forward here, let me see here. We're going to do a giveaway right now. How about that? So we got 21 people in here. I apologize for the 7 folks that just hopped out. The giveaway tonight will be sponsored by Frostbud Farms. We're giving away a hat, a rolling tray, or a keychain. So I think we're going to end up going with the hat. So there is 21 people in here. I'm going to give it 5 minutes for more folks to get in if people want to hop back in. And we're going to have my man Jared select a number in
Yep. And
5
we're going to
minutes.
be adding 1 free genetics choice from our store to whoever wins the giveaway today, too.
That's awesome.
Right now, we got established strains. We got Gary Payton, Trainwreck, and Apples Bananas Cross. So
hell yeah.
Yep, all Barney's Farm, all certificate analysis and ready to go too.
That's awesome, dude. I appreciate that. So we're gonna give it, like I said, they'll give it 3 more minutes. So let me see. It is 9:05. So we'll just say at 9:09 we're gonna do a hashtag PLNTRK again. PLNTRK, and Jared will select a number, and that number will be the winner of a Frostbud Farms hat and a pack of seeds from Here to Heal. What up, Janine? How you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. Moving forward here. So community and sharing. There's a lot of things that are really coming to the surface and coming soon with PLNTRK. We've only gotten to topic number 4 out of, god dang, 7, and then there's a whole wrap up on it. So we might have to, Scott, unfortunately, I think we let people play with it for a little bit, and we can maybe circle back on like episode 6 and just kind of retouch or finish out or whatever.
That's just fine. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
There really is
a lot more to talk about.
And I don't want to necessarily overwhelm people and then have them have to like rewatch this video like 13 times. I'd like them to be able to play with it a little, play with the platform a little bit, and then circle back for some more education on it.
Yeah, we've definitely covered a bulk of it right now. Absolutely.
We absolutely have. So there is some community networking opportunities that potentially would come in the future. For PLNTRK, Scott was talking vaguely on it, and I don't want to speak too much. I'll let you talk on that if you feel.
Some feedback I had was growers want to follow other growers, be able to drop in and see their plants and just follow their activities. So we're working on that feature right now. And then also just more of like a feed where people, kind of a Facebook for cannabis. So I'm kind of working on like a whole thing like that.
And that I cannot touch on enough. The struggle on Facebook is real. Every day I post. Actually, the Minnesota Grow Talks reel that I posted today did not say NFSOT or FIPO on it. I have not checked to see if it got removed. But it just depends on how Facebook seems to be feeling some days. Some days the content lasts. Some days the content gets pulled right away and you get a violation. I know several people have had their pages shut down completely due to cannabis content. We're living in a legal state. I understand it's not federally legal, and that's where the problem lies. Facebook has to abide by federal law, sadly. It really is disheartening for myself because guys that are out in the world trying to promote cannabis for medical use and medicinal benefits, they're literally getting their pages shut down over nonsense, in my opinion. There's way more explicit shit rolling around on Facebook that shouldn't be, that isn't getting shut down, and people growing plants that are medicine are getting shut down. So very frustrating for myself, and I'm very excited to see something else come to the surface, as in a networking platform.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I require you to talk about cannabis. So
absolutely. So quickly, just go ahead.
I'm going to shut you down if you're not talking cannabis. How about that? So
right. Were you saying something, Jared?
Say what there, buddy?
Were you saying something?
No, I'm just having fun, just listening to everything that's going on.
Okay.
Keeping up on this plant track and everything.
Sweet. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting anybody off there. So quickly, I'm just going to wrap up on community and sharing. There are public shareable plant profiles, as we discussed, retail QR codes, the ability to follow other growers coming soon. There's a strain library as well. And then there's the AI-powered info population, which is very, very neat. I can basically enter some lineage information and then it does all the rest of the work for you. Moving down the list, what are the benefits of sharing plant profiles, in your opinion, Scott?
Well, really, for me, it's just born out of just having fun. Like I said, I just want to be able to share that this is a quality, good plant. You know, I picture even just going to the farmer's market someday and picking up carrots that are the same way. You know, just you want to know where your food comes from, where your medicine. You know?
Absolutely. And myself, the same. Like as mentioned previously, I grow everything organically. I grow my own medicine. I actually don't like to just go out and purchase medicine from anybody in a random place, right? Because I don't know where it come from. There's a lot of tainted product on the streets these days, and it's just I like to know where my product comes from. So I take pride in what I do. I build these profiles, and I try to track everything that I do to the T, so that in the event somebody were to want to go back and look at a plant profile or a PDF, they would easily be able to do so.
It's weed facts, kind of like Carfox or Carfax.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, being in the restaurant industry, I know everybody really loves food safety. So compliance and overall safety of what we're ingesting is going to be crucial. Nobody wants to drink a stale beer. Nobody wants to drink or smoke sprayed weed. Nobody wants to eat tainted food. So I think any system to have to help operate or ensure safety will be crucial. So it'll be good to see what happens with this system, man, and I hope it can go up against the big dog metric. I think this is something that can be a contender. So I'm pushing for you.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
It's scary thinking about that level, but I want to get there someday for sure. I don't see why I shouldn't be able to get there.
Someday.
I don't think you're far from there, dude.
Awesome.
We got to get to the giveaway, guys. People are already hashtagging plant track because we're lagging behind by 4 minutes. When I hit enter on my keyboard, folks, it's going to say giveaway begins right now. And your objective is to hashtag PLNTRK. Jared, Rob, what's the number going to be, folks?
All right, we're doing lucky number 11.
All righty, there's enter, folks. The giveaway begins now. The 11th hashtag PLNTRK is the winner of a Frostbud Farms hat and a pack of seeds from Here to Heal. I will move forward and we will circle back. That's a good one. How does following other growers enhance one grower's experience?
I haven't followed other growers yet, but I gotta imagine just you can kind of see what they're doing, like their training or their top. When are they doing their training and their toppings and stuff? How are they solving their problems, or what problems do other gardeners experience? So really, it's just out of your own bubble and just kind of it's a community. So the more you can talk to other people, you'll gain insights.
Well, since all the genetics, if you're using the same genetic line and stuff for the most part, if you're doing it the right way and everything, it's the cool part too is all the notes and stuff, you'll be able to really eventually get to know what each one of these strains does from your own experience and everybody else's to really hone in on everything.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think being able to connect and network with other growers absolutely is going to inspire myself. It's going to inspire other growers to do better. It's going to inspire folks to grow the best medicine they possibly can, right? When I look at Robbie Shore's 528 gram autoflower, I'm like, what in the fuck did that guy do, right? How do I get to that?
Right.
Well, then it'll be nice to work with other, like if you all work together, hopefully we can eventually work with geneticists and everybody to eradicate the issues in each one of these strains.
So, I mean, really, coolness factor is what I'm thinking initially, and then everything beyond that. So,
Right. Green Giant Growers says it's against the terms of service saying the word cannabis. So not utilizing that term can help in any ailment or problem. I saw that when one of my posts got deleted. I think it's absolutely ridiculous you can't use the word cannabis. Like it just blows my mind. But it is what it is, and it's where we are. The sad part is like a year ago today in social media, you could use all these sorts of terms, right? And now it's like we've gone backwards almost in the social media network, and everything that you do is being shadow banned, and I can't even find my page half the time when I'm trying to search it on Instagram, right? It's like because it's all shadow banned and they don't want you to be found, and it's just garbage. So the giveaway has wrapped up, folks. I'm going to circle back. If you want to quickly dive into education and support, Scott and Jared, I'm going to get these tallied up and I will announce the winner in 2 seconds.
yeah. So right now I have basic, very, very, very basic 101 education topics. Everything from every topic, growing in water, soil, cooking with cannabis, drying, vegging, flowering, you name it. I have one section for each of those. And it's very slim, so I have lots of improvement to go. And I'm going to be working with Green Giant Growers, moving to incorporate some of their content into PLNTRK.
That's awesome.
I was also inspired talking to him about his course content that got removed because it was cannabis related. So I'm building in like a course feature into PLNTRK too right now. So it's like Udemy, where you can purchase a course. It's got all the sections and videos and what have you, and it tracks your progress. I'm going to be bringing that in too soon. So then everyone can contribute their content, and we'll get and they can share revenues amongst everyone. And the growers or the educators can get the biggest cut.
Hey, really quick, Scott, I know just with something I was talking about, we're building a community of SEA operators, and we're working with different law firms and accounting teams, and essentially we're building opportunity for people to use systems and anything to be able to fast track or really incorporate things, and anything that can be utilized under this network of people will be really crucial. So something we would like to talk more with you about is implementing this on some commercial levels to see if it if it can contend with some of the metric things before it would be needed.
Right.
Yeah, like a testing opportunity essentially.
I would love to talk with someone to see where we need to be to compete with metric, and because I can't imagine it's terribly difficult to be compliant. So
No, I don't think you're far from being there, like I said. Quickly, off topic, Michelle Reed was the 11th, hashtag PLNTRK.com, folks. It wasn't really .com, but it was PLNTRK. Congratulations, Michelle Reed. What up, lady? I hope you are well. Haven't seen you guys in a while again. I hope both you and Matt are doing great. If you could send me a DM and we can arrange to get that Frostbud hat as well as a pack of seeds sent out to you. Thanks for joining us tonight. It is absolutely appreciated. We will do a giveaway every week, every episode of Minnesota Grow Talks. I am trying to determine with the team if we're going to do it weekly or if it's going to be a bi-weekly thing, but Minnesota Grow Talks will run for about 12 episodes. We have several of them filled. If there's anyone out there that is looking to showcase their Minnesota brand, product, facility, etc., don't hesitate to reach out to the team and we can get you scheduled. But moving forward, I heard you talking on a lot of the education. I cannot say enough about how much educational material is on this platform on top of everything else that it does. So I had a couple questions in regards to that kind of I'll just reiterate quickly. There was that nutrient deficiency analysis, which was the Grow Doc. There's the 101 growing topics, which he touched on several of those. There was that strains library, and then the AI chat. Lastly, the educational content from Green Giant Growers. Shout out to Gerald Polson up in Duluth, Minnesota. A couple questions I had in regards to that topic. How does integrated education support new growers? That's a good one.
A lot of people are just jumping in the deep end, I think, not knowing what to do at all. So if we can just get them a little kickstart, get them in the right direction,
Absolutely.
goes a
I
long
couldn't.
way, And then the maintenance journey that I provide, like that's almost something you can just like go off of a general knowledge and hopefully have some success. So
Nice. And I couldn't agree more. Just getting on there and getting some seeds in the soil, folks. If you start to run into issues, really just utilizing that AI tool right on board there, I think it'll help you a lot. In it. The program alone can guide you through what you need to do. Like he was saying, the next step in each plant's life is presented right in front of you, from defoliating to topping to all of that stuff. If you choose to do so, it is recommended exactly when to do so, right in that next step process. So
and if you can control your humidity, it tells you what to turn your humidity up and down to at certain time periods as well.
absolutely,
Nice big buds.
yeah. Dude, you really just got to get on there and mess around with it. You could mess around with that thing for a whole day, and especially if you have a full garden of programming and printing QR codes and laminating your QR codes, and it goes on and on. So, quickly fast forwarding, that was education. Let me see here.
I feel like we've talked about everything at this point, huh?
I think we have. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Let me see here. Ability to purchase. So there is we talked about that. There's some upcoming features that I'm just gonna quickly touch on, and we talked about that briefly earlier. But the ability to possibly purchase QR codes if you're not computer savvy or you don't have a printer. Upcoming feature is image cropping within the platform. There's more educational integrations, as he mentioned, through Green Giant Growers. And then, in conclusion, I just wanted to put a bow on this. Again, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. It's an honor to host Minnesota Grow Talks with the team, Jared, Robert, Scott over at PLNTRK. I cannot say enough about the program. So PLNTRK is more than just a plant tracking tool. It's a comprehensive platform designed to empower growers at every level with robust features for data management, smart tagging, community engagement, and education. PLNTRK streamlines the cultivation process and encourages knowledge sharing. Whether you're a hobbyist with a single grow tent or managing a commercial operation, PLNTRK offers the flexibility and intelligence you need to grow with confidence. As we continue, or PLNTRK continues to roll out new features and expand their community, your feedback and participation are invaluable. They are committed to making PLNTRK the go-to resource for growers everywhere, and we can't wait to see what you'll accomplish with these tools at your fingertips. Lastly, a personal note from the Minnesota Grow Talk studio. I can't express how personally excited I am for the release of the PLNTRK application in the App Store. Seeing this platform come to life has been nothing short of a dream come true for Scott, and I personally, genuinely love. Oh my God, the screen just glitched. One sec.
Oh no.
I genuinely love using it every day. It's been amazing to watch how PLNTRK has helped me organize my grows, track progress, and connect with other passionate growers. The convenience, insights, and sense of community it brings are things I truly cherish. Thank you to all of you for your support, enthusiasm as we launch PLNTRK to a wider audience. I can't wait for you to experience all the features firsthand and to hear about your own journeys and successes. Let's go, let's grow together.
Hoorah.
Hey, Ra.
Again,
appreciate everyone checking it out. It's been my passion, so I just hope people love it.
Absolutely.
I'm biased, but I love it. So.
Congratulations, Scott. Honestly, if
Thank
anything, this is this whole interview and opportunity is just a testament to what small business is, and that's the one thing. I think anybody that's in the chat room and that's talking and listening into us is we're trying to protect micro businesses to the fullest extent. So anything that's going to be able to help that and then go above and beyond any standards is something that's really important. So congratulations to you and everything you're doing. It's a truly amazing feat that you're doing. So.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm just going to say ditto. It's just easier. I can't say enough about it. What an honor it is to be here tonight, folks. What an honor it is to host Minnesota Grow Talks for a third season, along with just some of the coolest folks I've met. Hats off to Scott and his team over at PLNTRK for all they do. It sounds like you might be a team of one. And if that's the case, well, then hats off to you, brother, because you're doing it all while working a full-time job. And I cannot say enough about that. So
I've done all the programming work. Hands down.
absolutely.
Yep.
And it takes a village to make stuff like this happen, man. Everybody knows from hosting events to hosting Minnesota Grow Talks, it's nothing that one man can do alone. So it does take a village. I do appreciate everybody's support in this journey that we are on. And without further ado, we are going to wrap up tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight on Minnesota Grow Talks Season 3 premiere. We will see you next week. Stay blessed. Be blessed. Stay lifted. Have a great night.